Alright, let us continue with the KVL in the second loop. This voltage source value, let's take it as 36 volts. I'm traveling in clockwise direction. I start from this point. The first component is a voltage source. I'll go from negative to positive terminal. So first voltage will be positive plus 36. Next we have 12 ohm resistance. If I define current through 12 ohm resistance, you can see the upward current is I2 and the downward current is I1. So equivalent current in upward direction will be nothing but I2 minus I1, and hence because I'm traveling in the direction of current, my drop will be minus 12 into I2 minus I1. Next is 6 ohm resistance. 6 ohm resistance, you can see the downward current is I2, upward current is I3. So I will define equivalent current in downward direction as I2 minus I3, and because I'll be also traveling in downward direction, the drop will be minus 6 into I2 minus I3. There is nothing else in this loop, so we simply equate it to 0. So what do we get? 36 minus, this is 12 I2, minus minus plus 12, I1 is equal to 6, minus 6 I2, minus minus plus 6 I3 equal to 0. So if you simplify everything, we have replaced the value of I1 as 6 amperes. That can be done because I1 is already known to us now. So if you now simplify everything, you can see I2 is minus 12 minus 6, which is minus 18. I'll send it to the other side, so it will become plus 18 I2 plus 6 I3. I'll send it on the other side, becomes minus 6 I3. I'll keep 36 plus 12 into 6 on the same side, and that will be 108. 36 plus 12 into 6. 12 into 6 will be 72 plus 36 will be 108. So that's my one equation in the form of I2 and I3. I'll call it equation number 1. Let us now apply KVL in mesh 3. I'll do it here. KVL in mesh 3. Mesh 3 is this mesh. Let me start from this 6 ohm resistance first. This time we will write KVL with respect to I3. I3 is flowing in upward direction. I2 is flowing in downward direction. So the equivalent current in upward direction this time can be written as I3 minus I2. I keep I3 first because I3 is flowing in upward direction and equivalent current is also defined to be in upward direction. So what will be voltage drop across 6 ohm? Because we are traveling also in upward direction, it will be minus 6 into I3 minus I2. Okay, next drop is across 3 ohm resistance through which the current is I3. We are traveling towards right in the direction of I3, so it will be minus 3 times I3. Next drop across 2 ohm will again be minus 2 times I3, and then we come across a battery. We are going from positive to negative terminal. Plus 2 minus means drop will be negative, minus 9 equal to 0. There is no I1 here, so if I simplify this equation, we will only get two unknowns, I2 and I3. Minus 6 into minus will be plus 6 I2, and we have minus 6 minus 3, which is minus 9, minus 2, which is minus 11 I3. So 6 I2 minus 11 I3 is equal to this minus 9. I'll send it on the other side, so it becomes plus 9. So this is my second equation in the form of I2 and I3. I'll call it equation number 2. So we have two equations, so I'm saying that solving 1 and 2 simultaneously, we can solve them in calculator. We will get the value of I2 and I3. So I2 will be equal to 7 amperes and I3 will be equal to 3 amperes. But please remember, this is not my final answer. My final answer was to find current through 2 ohm resistance, but we know that current through 2 ohm resistance is nothing but I3, and hence we say that current through 2 ohm resistance, which is I3, equal to 3 amperes becomes my final answer. So I repeat, whenever you have to find something and the method of solving is mentioned, you have to follow that method and go ahead. One important conclusion from this problem will be that whenever there's a current source in any mesh, then you cannot apply KVL directly. If the current source is present only in that loop or that mesh, current will be exactly same as the value of current of that current source. If there is a current source between the two meshes, then let us see what is to be done. We'll discuss that in the next example.